Hi, I'm Sumaya, one of the Afghan refugees, and I'm from a country that women are deprived from their human rights. And I was 11 years old when Taliban took over Afghanistan. So from the very beginning, people rushed to the airport to save their lives. The fear of the Taliban was great enough that people even lost their lives by riding on the wings of the airplane. It was the least thing they could do to save themselves. But people from other countries, they considered them as a stupid people because they couldn't do anything. Like, how would you feel if you were in such a horrible situation? I believe that they should not judge others when they haven't been through that situation. And those days, running away was the only thing that people could do to survive. So on the first day, my best friend Mehdia, she came to me and told me that she's going to France with her family. And on the second day, my two other friends, they told me that they're going to Pakistan. Then a few days later, I heard about Rahima, a 12-year-old girl. She was my friend and she escaped to Pakistan by herself through the borders that were only for men. And they were asking me curiously, like, what are you gonna do? What's gonna happen to you? But I was saying that I will always stay here and I will help my country. Although I knew that Taliban will never let a girl study. And I was, those days, like, I didn't have anything to do. So I was just sitting in my room and looking at the window, and airplanes were leaving every 5 minutes. And that was, every time they were leaving, I thought that that's the plane that my friend is in. And a few days later, in a very quiet morning, my brother-in-law called us and told us to pack our necessities to go to the airport. So as we were packing, my grandma, she was very curious and asking us what's going on and why are you packing? And we couldn't tell her that we were gonna leave her behind because she was old and we couldn't take her in such a unsafe place, so we didn't tell her. And that night I couldn't sleep, and when it was 12, everyone woke up, and we were 11 people, my sisters, my mother, my nephew, and we all departed. And when we arrived to the airport, there I saw women with their children sitting on the ground and waiting for their husbands to come and take them into the airport. And it was so crowded that we couldn't even walk, so we just found a spot and waited there until my brother-in-law came and take us into the airport. And the place that we were waiting was full of robbers. It was very hot. People didn't have enough water, and the police were shooting to approach the people from coming, and the shooting was so loud. And as we had a 5 days nephew baby with us, he was crying and he couldn't sleep. And we waited there for a few hours, and then my nephew and my brother-in-law came with the Australian army and took us in. I was so glad that we came after a few hours, but the other people, they waited for 5 days or a week. And I think we are so lucky that we came just after a few hours. And when we went inside the airport, unlike the outside of the airport, the army were very kind and friendly with us, and they brought us snacks to eat and drinks to drink. And we departed a plane to Dubai that night, and we arrived there. We were in a camp for 1 week, and the camp was a very good experience because all the people there was like Afghans, and when you saw them, like, you had a hope that they're safe and we are all together. After 1 week, we came to Brisbane for a quarantine. We stayed in a hotel for 2 weeks. When I first arrived there, I was so tired that I didn't even look around, so I just straight went to bed. And a few hours later, when I woke up, I saw a beautiful view, and it was so amazing that I felt like I died, and this is heaven. After a long time, I felt safe again, and I was so happy. Then we came to Perth. Because we arrived there at night time, so it looked like a desert because it looked like there's no one living here. I told my mom why we didn't stay in Brisbane. And after like a few days when I looked around, I like here more. And now it's 1.5 years that I'm here. I just graduated IC and now I'm going to year 7th. And I'm so happy that I'm going to school now. I have new friends, new teachers, and I'm so grateful for all of this. And I give my thanks to God every night before sleeping. Thank you.